We're about to be live.
Matthews Show, where politics meets the South. So grab your sweet tea, find a comfortable spot to sit back, and let's embark on this journey together.
Yes, good Monday morning. I'm gonna get next to you.
Good morning.
It is the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB, and yes,
Good morning.
they are backwards.
They
but
were
whatever,
backwards.
We're okay.
We're good.
And of course, I just saw where Clay was talking about the Aerosmith tribute band coming this Friday night to Martin's.
Oh,
Chip Away at the Stone.
gotcha.
That's Aerosmith.
That was, I know that was Aerosmith. I didn't know we had a.
Aerosmith. I remember when I used to do commercials for things like that. Coming to the Coliseum.
You had to put on your radio voice.
Aerosmith. Aerosmith. Live.
We need to have more people come to the Coliseum. We haven't had a concert at the Coliseum in who knows how long.
Well, I mean, with the amphitheater getting all the premiere shows and, you just in the facilities, I mean, although they are much better than they were.
Have you been in the Coliseum lately?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the dressing rooms at one time.
Oh, backstage.
It's a fear. Well, man, the WYAB bathroom,
Uh-huh.
okay,
Yes.
here on the 7th floor of the radio complex
Right.
is a palatial suite compared to what they had at the Coliseum for some of these people that came in.
Really?
I mean, I'm serious. I mean, you look at a whole band and say that's where you're going to dress.
In that little bitty bathroom.
Yes.
We haven't. Wow.
I mean,
Well,
I just look that some of them.
We're
It's
gonna have plans
door-
for downtown. We need
the
to.
door opens and that's it. I mean, if the door didn't open, you couldn't change your shirt.
Oh.
And I mean, I remember we had a bunch of comedians down there. No, who was it? Who was it that's in trouble?
It's interesting.
He was in trouble with the city of Jackson,
Oh.
and he said, "I ain't going on stage till I get paid.
Ooh.
I ain't going on stage till I get paid."
Well,
But anyway,
it's not really bad. Way to go to be sure you get the money.
because he was looking at I won't be paid in cash.
Cash.
And I'll never forget somebody came to me from the state saying, "Look, we got to have some cash to pay him. We can't just write him a check." I said, "Y'all don't have cash to pay him?" And they said, "Where do we get cash on a night when we need to do this?" I said, "Well, the only place I know that'll cash a check on a Sunday night is you're going to have to go to the casino."
Ooh.
I don't know where they finally found the cash, and they had to find a good bit of cash too. It was a riot.
Wow.
And people don't realize. I mean, not everybody has ever booked a show or know what goes on,
Uh-huh.
but the contract says what the contract says.
I guess so.
I
you didn't
get
read the
paid when I
contract.
go on. They go, "Well, check's cash." No,
No,
not in that world. Not in that world. And I mean, truth be known, probably the best thing to rob would be tour buses because they're rolling around with cash.
Really?
I mean,
Didn't know that.
well, I mean,
They're not. I haven't seen a tour bus in I don't know how long.
shoot, they ride through this town in the middle of the night all the time because
I believe that because I hear some crazy noises on the interstate in the middle of the night.
That's
Sounds
why
like
we
UFOs
were always able to
rolling
book,
through.
at Fire. We were always able to catch them on the drive through
Mm-hmm.
because usually right before Jackson, it's overdrive for the drivers, and when you overdrive, the driver gets double time.
Right.
So
just stop in Jackson. It's a nice little.
it's easy to
crossroads.
stop and pick up $1 or $2 from somebody like myself.
Yep.
But anyway, okay, here it is, Monday morning.
The first Monday morning of daylight savings time.
Yeah, and
Hopefully the very last one, because RFK said this hopefully will be the last time that we have to
and I missed Tuesday, right?
You
That's
did.
it was this week. It just seems
That
like
was
it was
last
such
week.
seems like it was so long ago. Because I had a double cat. I had a double
calf. He's got some nice bruising going on.
Great bruising. They got in through my arm, although they shaved other places to make sure.
I don't want to know.
And I was 100% blocked on one side and 80% blocked on the other.
Right.
So, I'm here. Going to be here for a long time.
Yeah, you are. I need you on the radio.
So everybody needs me on the radio.
Wow.
Oh.
I don't talk well by myself. I can't just make up stuff to talk about. I have to engage with someone.
I don't make things up. What are you saying?
Well, but
are you calling me a liar?
No, not that kind of makeup stuff. I mean, just like coming up with words in which to use.
I mean, it's a talent.
It's a talent.
It's a talent.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of you men have that talent.
And right now my brain is just fried. Okay, because this weekend we were just so busy at Acme Pizza.
Good.
Completely slammed Friday and Saturday night.
Well, that's awesome.
And they came a little later. And then our crawfish, we were selling crawfish, but we made sure. And I mean, I hear at the Crawfish Bowl they ran out like at Shuckers. They ran out like at 4 or 5. We still had crawfish.
I got invited to that on Friday.
You got invited to it?
Yeah, we were having lunch at room service, and I guess the guy he was closing the gate, and he said, "I'll be at Shuckers. Y'all come out, and I'll play something for you." I don't know who he was. We were getting in the car to leave because
he's at room service. Was he like the bass player of a band or something?
I had no idea. He just said, "Come to Shuckers. I'm playing at Shuckers this weekend. I'll play a song for you."
I just know a lot of bass players in my past who had different sets of wigs. I mean, hair nets or even wigs for that matter.
He didn't look like the kind to wear a wig. He looked like the kind to just get up there and play.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Maybe so.
But anyway, we're going to talk about some politics today. What do you want to talk about? I saw something this morning. I
want to talk about the fact that we're not going to have another daylight savings time. That's what I want to talk about.
That is worthless conversation.
No, it's not.
There's
RFK just this morning said, hopefully that this will be the last time that we're messing up our schedule.
He's a Democrat. I'm not listening to him. He's not. He hadn't crossed over. I'm not listening to him.
You don't think that it's crazy that we have our time shifted on us twice a year?
In October, when I get it back, I love it.
So why don't we just leave it wherever it's supposed to be instead of one day?
It is where it's supposed to be.
I don't want to change time every year.
It's
like everybody.
Look, it has for people that work.
Yeah.
You need that extra hour.
What is that? Where does that extra hour come from? It's a figment of our imagination. It has no effect on when the sun comes up and goes down.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. The
sun would go down at 8 o'clock rather than 9 o'clock.
Okay, so why not just leave it there?
Well, if it goes down at 9 o'clock, I can stay out on the boat an hour longer on the reservoir.
Okay.
Okay.
So just leave it to where we always have an extra hour at 9 o'clock at night and not keep shifting it around.
Nothing good happens after 9 o'clock. You got to move it up.
Why?
If you don't move it up, then
why do we have to shift time? What's the purpose? Because don't give me the crap about factories need to be lit up, because the sunlight, there is a set amount of sunlight every day.
You're not a Yankee. So you don't know, you can't answer that question.
I know that
but when these people get off
moving around,
when people
natural.
that work in the real world,
okay.
I know you don't work, you just
okay,
pretend to be like a housewife or something or whatever.
Pretend to be a housewife. Well, I live alone in an apartment by myself.
Okay.
I'm self-employed.
Okay.
Trying to build my business.
Cat lady.
Dog lady.
Cat lady.
I have a 100-pound dog.
Okay. Well, anyway, you don't do anything.
What do you mean I don't do anything?
You have all day to go do what you want.
What does that have to do?
These people.
The sunlight does not change. You have the same amount of time in a day, whether we jump an hour, we change an hour every.
We are not going to spend the day. We are not spending the day on this show talking about why you would like to have your hour back.
I don't. It's not that I want my hour back.
Let me
I
look at
think
your-
that it's crazy that we
Let me look
literally
at the picture online and
change
see
time.
if you need some makeup or something.
I do need
Okay,
makeup. I
okay.
did not do hardly anything this morning.
Too much is going on in the world for us to be talking about this. And it's just
I
like
think it's a
just
conspiracy
like
theory meant to just mess
It's
us
just
up.
like a woman
Let's
wanting to
see.
keep
Let's
the
take
subject.
an hour away from them. Last Monday at this time, it was 7. It was 8:15, and this week it's
So you're saying
9:15.
we need to go in there and tell Clay to come back in here and finish his show.
I'm
where we
saying-
can go on the air later.
No, I'm saying that we need to we need to pick a time and stick with it and quit changing in the fall, spring forward and fall back.
This
We
show
need to
comes
just
on at
leave
9
it all-
This
all
show
alone.
comes on at 9:00.
Yep,
I'm
9
here.
o'clock every morning,
Okay,
the same time.
there you go. So what was the deal?
Why do we need to change a time? Why do we
Just to make sure you check your batteries in your fire extinguishers. Yeah, because
Whatever.
every time you change your clock forward or backwards,
Uh-huh.
you're supposed to check your alarm system in your house.
Nope, I don't have to do that anymore
Why not?
because they come in and do it for me.
Ah, the life of a princess.
A princess, yeah.
Oh,
I'm far
yes,
from a
yes.
princess.
Okay, let's see what we can do here. When we come back,
You want to talk about with politics?
yeah, we need to talk about politics. This show is about
I know.
politics
Politics
and
is
sweet tea. I heard the
stevia
intro.
tea. Stevia tea.
Okay.
Sweet tea is not good for you. Stevia or Splenda.
Look, you've been hanging out with that Democrat too much.
What Democrat?
Bobby Kennedy.
No.
When you come in here with his, we got to worry about the time. Just because he doesn't want to get up early. I mean, what's wrong with him? Just get up.
It's not about getting up early. It's about having your time, having to change the time on your clock twice a year.
Buy a new clock
Why?
that does it automatically.
Why? But why
My
can't we
cell
just
phone
not
does
do
it
it?
automatically.
Why can we just not do it?
Well, it's something we've done for 100 years, so we don't change. We can't change everything. We cannot change everything in the world.
No,
We
but
can't-
we can change the stupid stuff, and that's stupid.
Well, stupid stuff. We're going to take a break. We're going to come
Okay.
back, and we're going to get off the stupid stuff about worrying about an hour of time change. Okay?
Okay.
We're going to talk about the aliens invading the earth.
Okay. Which
Okay.
ones? The Greys?
The Greys. We'll be back. Hopefully have something to talk about on the other side here on WYAB.
that you like it.
I can't believe we just spent 18 minutes talking about nothing that's important.
What do you mean?
It's not that important.
It doesn't matter as long as we're talking.
No, it does matter. Just because y'all had to fill space on the air. I didn't,
I think that it completely messes everybody up that we change our posts aren't loading right now. That's crazy.
Health has always been reactive, focused on fixing problems as they happen.
See, when it's that dark in the morning.
Primary care. We're
No, I'll
taking a
save that.
proactive approach,
Huh?
working with you to help you
Say it.
understand your health.
Okay. This ought to be the final time we change our clocks. Daylight savings times is a relic that disrupts our natural rhythms
The results
and serves no real purpose in the
and more
modern world. We need to end this for good.
Who said that?
Healthy again. Robert F. Kennedy.
Okay.
One day ago.
Station. Get to FedEx Forum on Friday, March 14th.
The Democrat.
when The Grizzlies taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers at
I don't
7 p.m. on Women's Empowerment Night. Celebrate faith and family with a special post-game conversation with soul surfer Bethany Hamilton. And on Saturday, March 15th, it's Tony Allen's Jersey Retirement Night. The Grizzlies face the Heat at 7 p.m. before the post-game Jersey Retirement Ceremony. The first 5,000 fans get a commemorative Tony Allen vinyl record. Get
According
your
to
tickets
this article-
today at Grizzlies.com.
I'm David Frederick.
This is how the United States government was overthrown on November 3rd, 2020. Analysis shows fraud in 30 states and more than 2,000 counties had something in common. Dominion rigging systems. Scandal of analysis show obvious fraud by computers in states of Georgia and Pennsylvania. New York Times election report reveals
30 years, since
104,000 stolen votes in Georgia,
Hey, everybody, it's Johnny
347,000 in
We're having
Pennsylvania.
Kim Wade Wednesdays at both locations. So
All
you
this
come
shit that
in
I
and
showed
mention
y'all
Kim Wade on a Wednesday, you get half price.
within
range
days of the
fees.
2020
Hey, if you're
election,
a member,
people
we're gonna
just
give you
now
an extra
started
free
out.
target just for mentioning Kim Wade show. Come on
Okay.
in and work on your shooting and exercise that 2A right. That if we don't fight for it, we won't have it much longer. It's 2guntactical.com. That's the number 2guntactical.com.
Are you a wine enthusiast? Are you looking for the perfect bottle to elevate your next dinner? The ultimate destination for wine lovers is 042 Wine and
I guess
Spirits on
Dannon's
West
gonna run
Government
against
Street
Cindy
in
Hudson.
Brandon. They're locally owned, they're locally operated. 042 Wine offers something for
Who,
everyone, from local favorites to rare
Gannon
vintage
Burton,
wines.
12
Burton.
hours
Wine
ago.
and
This is
Spirits
the
help
reason
you
I'm going
find
to
your
beat
next
Cindy
favorite
Hyde
wine.
Smith.
Friendly and knowledgeable folks at 042
She is a
Wine and
coward
Spirits help
and
you
says
find the
nothing while
perfect
Gold
bottle for
Star
every
mothers
occasion.
who
042 Wine and Spirits
uncover
located on
voter
West
fraud
Government Street in
were
Brandon.
killed in prison by the demons in
Looking for the perfect
Colorado
spot to unwind with
through
friends
rig
and family?
elections.
El Patrio
What
Mexican
shit
Restaurant is calling
people
your
we
name.
have in federal
Locations in
office.
Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon. El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
Hank Aaron Sports Academy in Jackson and Smith Wills Stadium is proud to announce the new Legacy League in 2025. The Legacy League will have 10 teams from the Jackson metro area in its inaugural 40-game season. Watch metro area teams from Brandon, Clinton, Pearl, Madison, Jackson, Canton, and more battle it out on the diamond. City pride will be on the line with a chance to make it to the big leagues. To get involved, visit LegacyLeagueBaseball.com. That's LegacyLeagueBaseball.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
And we're back on a Monday morning.
Monday morning.
Here at WYAB. I am,
Hello,
of course,
all.
Chip Matthews. She, of course, is Taylor Turcotte. Both of us are running for office.
We are
She's running for her life in Jackson in District
Ward 7,
Ward 7,
council person.
council person. And then, of course, I am running for mayor of Canton among the other, let's see, what would you call them? Well, you got two campaigns being run by people that were convicted of election crimes, one waiting to be sentenced again on election crimes. And those are the background people that are helping run the elections for one person who was worked at a school and was suspended for 10 years and told she could not teach. So while she's waiting to teach, I'll just go be mayor of Canton for a little while. So she's running for mayor.
Right.
After cheating on test scores,
Yep.
which I don't understand why there's not a crime associated with that the public would know about, and this person would be a felon or something, because all the money that gets poured into schools to run schools, and then the Mississippi Board of Education goes, "We're taking your license," and that's it. Is that another deal where it's supposed to go up to Lynn Fitch and Lynn Fitch is supposed to prosecute them? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm asking. And then you got another person. You got two people, and I talked to the judge that sentenced them the other day at Grip and Grin, because I was Superman the day after I got the day after I got my
driving himself
my
to
heart
Grip and Grin,
ripped apart and put back together. I was right there at Grip and Grin,
right back,
ready to go,
and even spoke.
I spoke until the point where I felt faint.
Did you?
Yes, I felt faint.
And
I was like, okay, we better sit back down.
Yep.
But and I brought it up. Then we got Pat Truesdale running in the city of Ridgeland. But a friend of mine, Debbie, went to the city council meeting the other night because she wanted to see the bidding process for the people that are going to be running the new tennis courts.
Okay.
In Ridgeland. And when she asked a question of Gene McGee, he just looked at her and says, "Y'all take care of this. I'm not going to listen to this. I've already awarded the contract, and that's that."
Power corrupts.
I mean, come on, people. I mean, look,
Power
look,
corrupts.
and the bad thing here is the mayor shouldn't be making that decision. The council should be making. That's why it's good that Pat Truesdale's running, because she's going to win. She's going to get on that board and going to do good things.
Right. Okay.
But the problem here, and nothing against the other members, but if you're just sitting there taking commands from Gene, that's not good for your city.
No.
It's a collective thing. It's just like in Jackson.
Shouldn't be a commanding type thing.
In Jackson, you let Chokeway
Right.
do things, although the council is bigger than the mayor's job in any of these cities is to do what the council says or the aldermen say or whatever it is. That's your job. They make the laws
Right.
and you get to enforce them. Sort of like being president.
Right.
They make the laws. You can change something for a day or two, but once the board is spoken, you have to do what they say.
Right.
Okay. So, and I don't understand why everybody wants to have a guy in office for 35 years. And it's because nobody primaries him. It's just like a conversation I'm having online about.
Well, how do you win against an incumbent when they're running their own election?
Well, see, they're talking about all these people. It's like, for instance, they go, well, we got Roger Wicker, and the Republican Party never puts anybody up against Roger Wicker.
Nope.
Or they try to recruit anybody to run against Roger Wicker. And the Republican Party just wants the win of the Republicans in office.
Right.
They don't look to improve the Republican in office.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So you had these people asking all these questions. Roger Wicker, y'all, all he wants to do is give Ukraine money. Must be in the kickback.
Must be.
Then I saw this thing on TV yesterday on Channel 16. I got to investigate it more. What is it? It is Magnolia Mothers something. It was on Solid O'Brien on Channel 16 on her show.
Okay.
And it is a fund and they said you had to be black to qualify.
Okay.
And I'm going to look at all this to make sure I'm right before I say it. But if you have to be black to qualify, it shouldn't have counted. But it's a funding to where a lady of color,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be black,
Okay.
gets money so that she can live the same lifestyle above this as her neighbors and friends.
Right.
And this is over and above any other aid that's coming in for her kids.
Why does she deserve special support?
Well, because she should be able to live a lifestyle, although she can't work or this, that, and other. It isn't that she can't work. She just doesn't.
She's not working.
She's not working.
Okay.
But she should have the right to be
to live
a life. And they're funding her life. It's
just because. Right. See, what about my life? Somebody come fund my
you're
life,
the wrong
please.
color to qualify
Exactly.
for this.
That's what I'm saying.
And I keep going.
And because I haven't burdened people with a whole bunch of children that I have to take care of, why do I still have to work to pay taxes?
But see, here in this program, we're
to
still
take care of her
we're
children.
still paying for the kids, but we're also paying for her
Exactly.
to live in a neighborhood that's not associated with HUD.
Live above her means.
Live above her means in a neighborhood that's not particularly HUD housing, or
Right.
she gets to live in a culturally sound place that people that have worked hard and to be in certain neighborhoods and this,
Right.
that, and the other, and moved up.
Right.
to change
Well,
the
one
command.
thing I have learned personally is that if you don't work for something and if it's not yours, you don't appreciate it.
Well, that is true too. But I sit there and look at it. I go, no, I'm not saying that people don't get help by these programs,
Well,
but I'm also saying, excuse me, it's like DEI and the scholarship program, this, that, and the
right.
other. And we're going to find out that in this state, how much money they killed 88% of the funding of USAID,
USAID.
88%. And then the other, what's left over,
Hmm.
they're moving that over to, what's his name?
How many USAIDs are there though?
Well, it doesn't matter. They cut 88% of the money out of it.
Well, I know, but how many more
But look at it this way.
things like USAID are we going to
Well,
find within our government under
Well,
a
we're
different
going to find
name?
a lot of them. But
There's
like
going to be many, many, many more.
but-
This is just one.
But let me ask you this. And I was listening to Kim Wade, the Kim Wade, Radio Strongman.
Next mayor of Jackson.
And he was talking about, what do you got to, you talk about raising taxes and how you're going to get tax money in to do the things you want in Jackson.
Right.
And every time you turn around, someone has taken a group of people and they have become a 501c3
Right.
and they've taken up a large piece of property.
Right.
And you're not going to get any taxes off that property.
Nope.
So you can't build. And then, of course, that 503c is doing things to bring people in that businesses don't want to open up around.
Right.
Wow.
Yep.
What do you do?
Yep.
Okay.
do
Take
you
quick.
do?
We're going to
People
take a
who want to
quick
be
break.
paid for doing nothing.
Right. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back to talk about the cat population of Jackson right here on WYAB.
With the dog lady.
Mazda of Jackson's biggest sale. The best
Call
deals
Keith Temple.
in
You
off-site
fired her?
sales event you do
I'm
not
fired her.
want to
I need my money
miss.
back.
It's the huge Mazda
That
of
ain't
Jackson
happening.
blowout
Why
super
does that
sales
not
event
happen? What do
at
you mean
200
that's not
Bass Road
happening?
Drive
They don't
near the
do that.
outlets of Mississippi.
What do you mean?
All
They don't
kinds
do
of
that.
cars,
They will
trucks,
build it
and
all out.
SUVs.
They did it
Over
all.
150 vehicles will
I'm
go
not
fast.
divorced.
So
And I
get
paid you
there
for a
today
contested
for the
divorce and
best
you've done
selection.
nothing. You're
It's
going to
the
tell me you're going
huge
to bill it all
Mazda
out?
of Jackson
No,
blowout
I'm getting my
super
money
sales
back.
event.
I'm on the radio. What's up?
Monday, March 17th
That's all right.
at 200
He's
Bass
probably
Road
drunk
Drive
because
in
they
Pearl.
won't answer the phone. And she got her tax sheet. She gave was going to get him a couple $100 of it. So he's probably on a drunk binge.
Okay.
So I'm going to
Yeah.
don't answer my call or Jim's or nobody's.
Okay. I'll call him later on. Goodbye. Talking about Henry.
Did he get tax money on it?
His aunt's getting tax money, but it's probably his tax money.
How's the veteran working out?
CBS News Brief.
Oh.
President Trump is doubling down on tariffs, but he admits there could be tough economic times ahead. Here's CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Over the weekend, the president was asked about whether
I
or
see.
not he's expecting
Although
a
Canada
recession,
has a
which
new
he did not answer
guy.
directly. In fact,
He's only there
indicating
for 2
that the
more
country
weeks.
could be entering a somewhat painful,
He's
quote,
finishing
period
out the
of
liberal
transition.
term until the
Supreme
next
Court has agreed
election.
to decide whether state and local governments can enforce laws
What
banning
kind of
so-called
Canada? Trudeau?
conversion therapy
Trudeau's
for
gone.
LGBTQ plus children. Loyola law professor
So
Lori Levinson.
it's sort of like we don't do this in America this way. Sort of like the Democrats didn't like the president, they could replace the president.
The Supreme Court is going to step
This is the
in.
way their
An oil
government.
tanker and a cargo ship have
So their
collided
new
off the
leader
coast
of their
Britain
party
in the North Sea.
It's not
CBS's
Trudeau.
Ian Lee.
is this new guy, and he's liberal, and he says that America will never do this, that, or the other to him.
I didn't even know that
32
Trudeau was
people
out.
have been brought ashore. CBS, are you looking for an
Well, it's been in the news that he was leaving. I mean, it's been in the news since you probably learned that it existed. Still looks backwards.
24/7 365 emergency service and a free service call with the repair of your system backed by our satisfaction guarantee. Call Air South Cooling and Heating today.
There you go, since we're back.
909-0881. Air South Cooling and Heating. We care more. Offer subject to credit approval. See airsouthnow.com for full details. Pure Air Consultants has always been your go-to for reliable and affordable heating and cooling systems, and now we are offering day and night brand with the new
So
year.
you
to
should
avoid the
shoot both
25 to
cameras from the
30%
same side.
increases that everyone is talking about. With day and night, Pure Air Consultants professionals can install a reliable system with a 10-year system warranty. Call us today for
You
your
see what I'm
free
saying?
quote,
It's because you shoot from the same side, then you-
601-939-7420 or online at mypureairconsultants.com.
This is Jack Hoffman. For nearly 31 years, Tico's Steakhouse has been a staple of fine dining in Jackson, Mississippi. Dad has long since desired for me to come work alongside him, and now that I'm here, I would like to invite you to come experience our family tradition of our hospitality, sizzling steaks, and healthy poured beverages. Our dining rooms are open, and we are taking reservations. Our private rooms are also available along with takeout. Call today or stop in and experience Tico's in the second generation.
Chico's Steakhouse, East County Line Road in Ridgeland, 601-956-1030.
Hey, Pearl, Mississippi, there'll be plenty of buying, selling,
just keep the
trading,
money.
golf appraisals, big pop
She's
gun
in the
shows.
county.
That's
They
the
just
best
keep, you know,
prizes
it
around.
doesn't
Not
matter.
just
You have to put in
one,
a,
but
you put a law
$20
complaint
highway
in,
toll
but I
ride,
mean,
beach hours,
the thing is,
250 tables of merchandise,
she will
see
say
the
she gets this
Market
much an
Center
hour and
at
bills
Flag
this
View
much,
Center, March 15th to 16th.
and she'll
Saturday
choose
hours,
some
9
off
to
of it.
5, Sunday hours, 10 to 5. Drag your dollar off,
choose some off
fun
of
there.
it.
Big pop gun show.
But I mean,
But-
she'd have to bill me $5,500 an hour.
Or she might say every time you called her or sent an email, it's $300, and they do that. Even when they don't get you on the phone.
What is wrong with these people? We could hear.
And we're back on a it's Monday morning as we
Monday
talk about
morning.
how lawyers bill.
Yeah, I'm amazed.
She's going, I gave them
You know, I thought that it was.
I gave them $5,000 to do this, this, and this. I go, I'm gonna get my money back. No, you're not.
It's just I'm amazed at how people just sit with.
Think,
Well, it's dirty and they're dirty, so let's just let them be
let
dirty.
me explain this to you.
We're not going to ask for the
I'm gonna
money back.
I'm going to explain this to you.
We're not going to ask for the money back.
Win or lose, the lawyer gets paid.
Win or lose,
So-
karma comes back around at some point, and people need to start waking up and realizing you're about karma is a.
And
Well,
and let
where's
me
the dump
also
button?
remind you, win or lose, they're going against a judge who's also a lawyer.
I know.
And all they want to do is
It
settle.
sucked the money out of you.
They say, well, everybody got paid. We're going to get paid. We're
All
going
the attorneys
we're
got
gonna
paid,
settle it. We're
everybody's
going to
happy,
settle it.
So let's
If
just
you bring this in my
screw
damn
these
courtroom, I
people.
promise you I'll judge against you. Let's get it all settled and go home.
Yeah, sounds like we need a lot of cleaning up around town, around
Well,
the
I mean,
country, and a lot of different.
Yeah, and it's like, for
Avenues.
instance, the lawfare that's going on in the federal courts. The federal,
Yep.
and you know, people are getting on to Amy Coney Barrett. Now,
I think we need to
there's
trash it all and
okay.
start
Now
all
hold
over
on.
again.
Now I heard a viewpoint yesterday that defended her a little bit, and I'm going to take a little bit of that for just a moment
Okay.
and analyze it.
Okay.
Okay. For a long time, we had lawyers that were either the judges are supposed to call balls and strikes.
Right.
Okay, so Trump put people on that were supposed to be fair, calling balls and strikes.
Right.
Now, as long as she does not put her political view in there, which of course we asked for her political view about abortion and this, that, and the other going in. So we knew she was a conservative.
Right.
And so if you're a conservative, you're still only supposed to call balls and strikes.
Right.
And so if the state didn't put in a proper argument
Correct.
to call it the way they would like it,
Right.
then it's the state's fault for not getting it right.
Okay.
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 I haven't heard the argument, this, that, and the other. It didn't should be, I just run up there and we do this. But what the argument that they should be having doesn't matter about the issue. The argument should have been on the basis of the following.
Yep.
Can the Supreme Court and the courts underneath it control the president? That is the only issue. Is it separate powers?
Right.
Okay. You know, if the government, if the laws are already there,
Right.
you know, balance of power, and it's,
Right.
and there's three sets. There's not
Right.
four. So that means if this part of the government wants to do this, and they have that power as an executive order,
Right.
there is no reason why you can stop it if you put
Right.
the argument in.
Right.
But the Executive Powers Act, when you use it, the next thing you have to do is get Congress and them to fund it for the long term.
Okay.
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 An executive order can't last forever.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So there is no problem here. And there's no reason why in between these two parties, these two parts of the government working it out,
Right.
that a judge in Podunk, Texas, or Podunk, let's say California,
change.
we'll go ahead and say
Right.
California,
Right.
can stop it
Stop. Right.
while we do this, because the Supreme Court, and then these other judges that are liberal, if they're appointed by a Democrat or Republican,
Right.
they're acting like they have control of the Constitution to
Right.
tell the president what to do
What he can or can't
when
do.
he's got his own rules. The House and the Senate have their rules, and
And this is a judge that's in a small town, not in a small town,
well,
but
it's a small town, and he was appointed by somebody, or she was appointed by somebody that was president at one time,
right.
and that's that. Unless, of course, she was appointed by somebody in the Biden administration, which, of course, everybody there was put in office by auto pen, and none of them exist. Benny, what you gonna do when auto pen comes to get you? How do you like that? Auto pen.
Auto pen.
Auto pen.
What is auto pen?
Auto pen is where they're saying that everything that was ever signed while Biden was in office was auto pen, except for his resignation from the election. He signed that.
He signed that with his own hand, but everything else was somebody else, like
somebody else running the government,
right?
And clicking.
Like click it here on a PDF to
PDF, auto pen,
to leave your
auto pen, all those pardons, auto pen, all these executive orders, auto pen.
Who was actually making all those decisions?
Who was running our country? And when they find out, and they're going to find out, because they're working so hard and keeping certain things quiet as they go, they're going to get you. And then all of a sudden, all this stuff is going to be exposed. And now, and that's what America needs. We need the corruption exposed. And in this state, our state of Mississippi, we have so much corruption and so much money that we already know that we get the most money in the state. We know that we spend the most money per student in the state, in the school system, and this, that, and the other.
You mean in the country, that Mississippi?
In the country. But we do not get results for our dollars.
Right.
And the reason we don't get results for our dollars is you can go over to Jackson State, get a doctorate degree. We make you a doctor. And then,
it sounds to me like schools make up their test scores.
And so then you start hiring all these people with the doctorate degrees that can't teach you how to paint a wall. You know?
Yep.
And that's the problem.
Yep.
And
they get a high paycheck and they've done nothing for it, and they've learned.
I had a friend.
Nothing for it.
I had a friend, I had an ex-girlfriend whose dad used to sit down with me and say, some people just don't need to go to college.
I would agree with that.
And he says, college isn't for everybody. And that's where society decide we can get a level playing field of who needs to do the work.
Oh, yeah.
And who doesn't need to do the work.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like at one time in Mississippi, all the lawyers got their degrees from Ole Miss.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And I'm not saying nothing against the Mississippi College School of Law or anything like that.
But
we have a lot of lawyers that go there rather than there because it's a different criteria, I believe.
Okay.
Because some of these other lawyers that didn't go to Ole Miss are the settle-it lawyers. They didn't know anybody. They're good guys. They want to work. Some of them are great at what they do.
Right.
But they're in the miss. They're in the pot of hit and miss, and they wind up being the guy shuffling paper all the time and just wanting to get it off the desk. It's just an opinion.
Yeah.
And that's based on my research, and I've hired a few lawyers in my time.
Yeah.
But I also know some great lawyers that went to Mississippi College. Not just that. It's just, I don't get all that. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I wished I did.
I think too many people have gotten comfortable being bad people, and it's all about them, and they're more important than everybody else on the planet.
It's like I tell everybody, politics starts one way. I want to do the right thing. I want to save the world. I want to save my area. I want to make good things happen in my area.
Right.
And then it becomes about me.
Right.
And nobody else cares what I do. Nobody comes up here to the meetings. Nobody that voted for me cares. I'll get a few people, the people that vote for me, because only 20% of the people vote.
Right.
So all
Hopefully
these people
we can
start,
change
they think it and they think it and they think it. And then all of a sudden you wind up with nobody really wants the job. Nobody else is going to run against them. And we have these forever incumbents.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that.
Yep. So I'll tell you from experience, it's not fun to do this from the outside.
So
politics from the outside is not a fun. It's not an easy road in by any means.
Right. But I mean, it's just wrong. It's wrong that we can't move along the way we should move along. And
I'm
it's
finding
like
it.
it's like in Canton. When I grew up, we had all these people that cared about the community.
Yeah. People who wanted to do the right thing, who were interested, who understood that if you don't do the right thing now, bad things are going to happen down the road for you.
And now you can't get a room full of people that want to be on the same page to do anything. They want to know, when am I going to get some speed bumps in front of my house?
Yeah.
And it's like, for instance, you listen in the news about the 14-year-olds this week,
Right.
in Jackson that were hit by two Capitol Police. The last Sunday in Canton, you had 14-year-olds that were racing in a car downtown. They hit a Canton police officer. That Canton police officer wound up with 2 broken legs, this, that, and the other.
Right.
One of the kids got run over by one of the police cars because he was jumping out of the car. He's paralyzed.
Yeah.
Of course, none of this has made it to the news.
Of course not.
They kill it. Not to mention that a neighbor down the road that saw where it all happened picked up a gun in the road. And I understand there were several guns in the car. These are 14-year-olds. Now, the difference between the 14-year-olds in Canton and the 14-year-olds in Jackson, the ones in Jackson were doing it at 8:45 p.m.
Right.
The ones in Canton were doing it at 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
So why are they out? Where are their parents? Why aren't they where to know where their kids are?
Right.
You know, I don't get that. Then, for instance, everybody keeps talking about, and everybody's missing this. They say at 7:45 or just before 8 o'clock, 2 people shot each other at the anonymously at the Anonymous Club.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Both of them shot, and they both got transported by private individuals. Excuse me. Why is a bar open at 7:45 in the morning? Why doesn't, when Clay and I had bars, I can promise you, 2 a.m. they come in and tell you to shut down. But I can go right now all over Jackson,
and the bars are open past 2
and then
a.m.
you've got too many bars where the problems occur open past 2 a.m.
Are they continuing to serve alcohol, or are they closing the alcohol off?
You know how that works.
Closing
They
the
get
bar.
around it. We put it in a bucket. We sold you 40 before midnight, whatever. Yeah, that's the way it works. But anyway, the door locked. People go home.
Yep.
Your bar's closed.
Yep.
Okay, let's take a break. We'll be back right here on the Chip Matthews Show with Taylor Turcotte on WYAB. And we're back for our final segment here on a Monday. Remember, the Jameson Haygood Show is next, right here on most of this same radio station, right here on WYAB.
Yes.
And he will have something important to say
I'm sure he will.
about things and about the oligarchies and all of that and this, that, and the other.
Mhm.
And I'll be up to my normal pace by tomorrow. And we look at this, looking online at Facebook at this new thing. I got Lloyd Travis says there is no extra hour. Daylight saving times is like cutting off the top of a blanket and sewing it to the bottom.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it has nothing to do with the weather. What does the blanket have to do with it?
It means that the blanket is the same time. There are 24 hours in a day, no matter if they're making our clock look different.
Okay.
The day is exactly the same. There's no reason to change a clock.
Okay. And then I click on it, it goes away. That's pretty cool.
There you go.
We got some new things going on with our StreamYard here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be playing with that. But anyway.
Clay hooked that up for us before we came in, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's working some magic for us.
Yes. Okay. But anyway.
Yes.
What do you want to talk about? What corrupt thing is going on in your election? Anything?
What corrupt thing is going on in my election? Lord have mercy.
Nothing?
They're all fighting. I mean, and a lot of the independents are already in it fighting it, which I'm choosing to stay out until the Democratic primary is over. I'm not fighting 5 when I only will have 1 at the end. So they're just all mad at each other.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk about what I've seen going on in the mayoral election because it's a bunch of dirty
Well, we realize,
talk.
and everybody keeps saying, Chip, you need to get your signs up. You need to get your signs up.
Not
Well,
yet.
not yet. Y'all got April Fool's Day. Y'all will pick the Democratic fool that moves forward to meet me in the trial.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And we have the only one that I guess out of the Democrats, and I say this and mean it.
Right.
If it isn't going to be me for mayor out of the people that are running, it needs to be Tim Taylor from
Okay.
Canton. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
All right.
Okay. But
It's very big of you.
Tim is a current alderman of Canton, and he has
Okay.
done an admirable job.
Good.
And over the years, we've had lots of conflicts between us,
Right.
but they have been resolved as we go. We speak.
Okay.
You know, he grew up on one side of the tracks of Canton. We're the same age. He grew up on one side, I grew up on the other. So things that I don't see like he sees,
Right.
he tells me how he sees it, and we see it, and then I go, I understand that.
Okay.
And
So it sounds like he
that's
would be-
common ground.
So
But
he won't be an alderman either
he
way,
won't
though.
that's the problem. He's been an alderman. He won't get to be an alderman if I beat him.
Yikes.
You know, that's the
Yep.
breaks, you know.
Yep.
But the culture of the other people running in the primary, we have an ex-school teacher who was guilty of choking a child and was fired.
Mm-hmm.
We have a guy I don't know that's running independent. I
Right.
don't know anything about him other
Right.
than his campaign manager is one of the convicted and waiting to be convicted, sentenced campaign managers is his campaign manager, and that's got to be dealt with.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Once you get caught playing
There-
dirty
there-
in politics, you should be out of the game and
In
not
Canton-
allowed to get back in.
in
And they let 'em
Canton,
right
there
back
is
in.
nothing dirtier than politics.
I see that.
Okay.
I see
With
that.
Jackson politics, just a bunch of crazy people. This is dirt at a different level.
Well, I think y'all got a bunch of our Jackson people that are moving up there to Canton.
Well, that's why we got guns and gun violence and all that, and probably the higher
Well, I meant in politics.
higher death rate in Canton. Guns are politics,
Well, I meant that the
Don't forget-
politicians themselves are coming from
but like
the dirty
lately,
people.
I've been getting some new friends on. We suspended your profile. Thank you, Facebook,
on.
on the Chip Matthews Show.
Yeah, but
But anyway, what I was getting at is on here, I'm starting to speak with a guy that a lot of people know that was on the Trump thing.
okay.
And his name is Elon Musk
Ooh, Elon.
in private messenger.
He's not. No,
These-
that's not him. Let me see that. Give me that.
You look at it.
Don't get scammed by one of these people. Yeah.
No,
Elon Reeve Musk, some CEO Tesla trade. Yep.
yeah.
Yep. I don't think Howard. Yeah. I think be careful.
Oh, I'm very careful. But
That's
I mean,
not Elon
it started out with a special code that I had to give them.
to give them control of your phone.
No, to get them to answer me on the other account, and they gave it off the certified Trump account, verified Trump account.
Uh-huh.
And it sent me a private message saying you need to do this, and I did it, and then that's a verified account. So
Okay.
we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
This is hard to listen to. Chip talks over her and says she's right 25 times a minute. Yeah, that's it.
What?
That's a friend of yours, Jennifer Cossey, I guess.
She
says that hard to listen to. Chip talks over her and she says right 25 times a minute. That's
Okay.
right. Okay, right. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Is that something I need to work on, is saying
I don't know.
right with my agreement?
I don't
when
know.
I'm
We're kind of off pattern today. She's all mad because the hour changed in time.
Chip's
we have no
Chip's
show
feeling all
today.
spicy because he's actually got blood pumping to his heart. So he's got color in his cheeks.
I got color from where blood is now pumping thanks to Jackson Hart.
Uh-huh.
And everything will be all
Isn't it
right.
funny? I find it funny how people are listening to you, but are going to tell you how you're no good and that they shouldn't be listening to you, but they are.
Oh, that's okay with me.
Yeah.
That's okay with me.
Right.
And she says exactly right. So that's going to do it for us. Jameson Haygood will be on, and he'll have a show today. We'll have a show tomorrow. So you'll be here with us tomorrow at 9:00 as I get more blood in my brain and this, that, and the other. And, and she gets a thesaurus, and we come up with some more words for you to say.
Correct.
There you go. That's great. And for Taylor Turcott, I am Chip Matthews, of course. And this is Chip Matthews Show, and we will see you here tomorrow morning bright and early.
Y'all
at
have a
9
great
o'clock.
day.
Jameson Haygood is next with a good fight.